And then work on the glutes. So when you drape the leg, actually for just the purpose of the glutes, you don't really even have to undrape the whole leg. You just have to uncover the bottom part of the leg. But you can start with some compression on the glutes to help soften them up. Always look for things like if they're blocking or like tightening up, you know, then just lighten up your pressure and go a little slower. You can put your elbow in here. You just want to make sure, since you have sweats on, I'm just gonna undrape this. So you just want to make sure that you are not like directly over the bone. You want to come into this like meaty area in between the greater trochanter, which is your hip joint right here, and the sacrum. So you'll feel the sacrum here. And like this whole area is where you would want to like focus your elbow pressure. And I'm mostly working right into the glute medius and minimus. I'm not dropping my elbow in the piriformis because that's very cruel. But I'm not kidding. I have days where I get home and I'll lay down on the floor like in front of the couch and I'm like, can you just dig your heel into my glutes? Like just do, and so my husband will just do this with his heel and like rock, and it feels amazing. Okay. I like to add a little movement to that. So if you lift up the foot and kind of rock it back and forth, then you get most of the movement in the hip joint. But if you bend the knee, then you're getting all your movement mostly in the knee joint. So try to keep the leg somewhat straight. Sorry. You can sit over there. I still don't need it. Then we can come into a figure 4. So I'll take the hand and just kind of lay it off of the table. Pull the knee out like so. This is normally again where I just have this draped down to here. Okay, and then you can kind of drop your forearm into the piriformis, but it should be a nice broad pressure because that broad pressure really helps take a lot of stress out of the piriformis. And they shouldn't feel like you're just, I don't know, trying to take out their piriformis. So don't do this. It's terrible. All right. And so as I'm pushing into the glutes, I'm pushing the hip joint down, and they need to be able to bring their leg up to adjust for that movement. So I'm just letting his leg come up naturally. I'm not like forcing it. So when I push here, it's coming up. And then you'll notice when you let go, like you might start up here because they're not that flexible. And then as you push into their glute, their leg will just like slowly start dropping down more and more and loosening up. Okay. Nice little counter stretch here for the quads. Always push the heel towards the sacrum. So you have proper alignment of the knee. We don't normally bend this way, so there you go. All right, and you can pull the hand back up there if you want. Okay, so compression on the glutes. Soften them up. Just lean in with your body. Keep your arms straight. Use that flat part of your fist.
I don't know if you guys went over this last week, but do you like ask the client like, are you comfortable if I work on your glutes?
You can.
Like,
if you've never worked on them before, I think that would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you like just did it. Or...
When you've been doing it for so long, you just do it. usually. I mean, unless you sense that they might be uncomfortable with it, like if they've never had a massage before, then it would be good to, like, you know, hey, is it okay if I work on your glutes a little bit? And I mean, I can do glute work without ever undraping them, so
Yeah.
like you can easily work glutes through clothing, sheets, and
That's what I figured most people.
is that pressure okay? So I'm using mostly like this whole part of my forearm, not just like digging in with my elbow. And then we're gonna create some movement in here. I'm still mostly over that glute medius, glute minimus, so like up at the top part of that iliac crest. Then figure 4. So this hand towards the head goes on the foot. This hand towards the foot goes on the knee. And then you just bring their leg out. It's always important to just make sure that you have you bring their leg out far enough where they feel like they have a little bit of a stretch. And then just lean in with your forearm. You can have them take a couple of deep breaths here too if you feel like they're guarding. Does that feel okay, Jacob? Okay, take a deep breath. This leg doesn't seem to be coming up as much whenever I push down, like it's just kind of like staying there. But just don't force it to stay there. Like you gotta give it some room to move if it needs to move. Alright, bring this back. Do a nice counter stretch. Sorry. I forgot to move his hand off the table. It's okay.